I don't know how to operate in a world where I'm supposed to understand that like there are just baby souls floating around that I could talk to. I guess it's not fair. Like if I believe in anything else, why not that? There's no way to test that. There's no way to like know. It's really like, what do you want to believe? Do you want to believe that your baby's been waiting to come into your particular life? Okay, if it makes you feel more connected to them or happier as a parent, like I don't care. I don't think like, well, I don't know. Is like a thing? I don't know.
There's this distinction between what is objective truth, reality, scalable across everyone, and then there is what is each of our unique experiences and how does that impact us? As Pete Holmes said in our interview with him years ago, what makes the better story? How does it make you feel?
Delusional. It makes me feel delusional. To me, that's like a delusional thought. Like that I chose my baby or like, I don't know. It just makes me feel not well inside.
It also makes me think of Michael Singer. Like, do I feel a larger connection to something or am I fighting the universe? If I feel that I didn't have a role in this child coming into my life, and not just the creation process, but even more than that, then I will be like, why the hell did I get this kid who does X, Y, and Z when it's frustrating? And I can resist and fight the process. Whereas if I am like, somehow I had a larger contract to be the guardian steward of this soul and I'm able to lean into that, then how does that change my parenting when I'm frustrated? How does that change how I relate to them on a daily basis?
If that translates for people, that's amazing. And you know, when I was pregnant, you know, in the Jewish tradition, we pray, like we pray for the welfare of that child. I sent good vibes out. I guess, to the baby. And, you know, with my second birth, which was a home birth, like, it was like, it felt very, you know, like you have to kind of be locked in to this being inside of you that is trying to get out, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I'm very curious for the conversation we get to have with our breaker community about this in particular.
Does this jump the shark? Where's the line?
No, I think other things we've talked about have jumped the shark. I mean, look, if it's just about like, oh, your beliefs don't hurt me and you're allowed to have them, sure, that's fine. But I also think that like people, I don't know. I think there's a profile of people who tend to lean into these kinds of things that I don't necessarily resonate with. I would say for the most part, people that, you know, go to constellation therapy, I wouldn't imagine I would be able to understand that, which I don't.
You have a profile and sort of, you have a sense of who these people are.
It's people like you.
There can be very practical, down to earth, reasonable people who go and have profound experiences that beg the question, what else aren't we seeing?
I would have to be drunk.
No, that's a horrible thing to do at a constellation.
But I can't be in my right sober mind and be like,
why? You're too scared?
But I don't know. I just don't think that I would be a person to like drop into that space of like, oh, I'm feeling it in my body. I just like don't think so.
Let's take an internet poll. How many people are like, Mayim should go to family constellation with Jonathan and we report
just
back
the
on
two
the
of
experience?
Us? The two of us? I don't want to deal with strangers. That's weird.
No, you're okay. Valerie, producer Valerie, you have to help me get Mayim this year, 2026.
I'll do it.
One of my goals is to get Mayim to a family constellation, and we will report
I'm
back.
Fold my arms and have my pouty face on, see if they can break through that with their magic wand.
No one's going to pick you. You're going to get stuck in the corner and just be able to watch.
I said I can't be with other people. I freak people out. I'm going to close down their channels.
You're not gonna.
They're gonna like the pilots. If they're noticing me, they should be noticing other things. I don't trust them. I should be able to walk in there naked or in a gorilla suit and have nobody notice. They should be so dialed in.
Tell us about the gorilla suit experiment, because it is a fascinating example of how we miss things that are right in front of us.
I mean, it's an example of shifted attention, and we pay attention to the things that we want to pay attention to. Also, I just noticed that you put a light behind you on the wall, and I think you thought I wouldn't notice.
It's been like 5 episodes of recording. Look at your shifted attention.
Never noticed that you took that beautiful beadboard that was installed and taped a light onto it. The gorilla experiment is about shifted attention. I don't remember the specifics, but it's an experiment you're told to watch. Like, how many times does the basketball go back and forth? And if that's all you're focusing on, you don't notice that there's an artifact of a dude in a like gorilla suit who stands in the middle of the court and like bangs on his chest. And I think like the vast majority of people, like statistically significantly, don't notice the gorilla because they're not looking at the whole picture. They're specifically looking at the ball being passed back and forth, which I think all of us, experience these kind of selective attention things, all the time. Most notably with the red flags that we paint white in relationships. But often we will be pulled to something because our attention is in one direction, and we ignore glaring things. Otherwise, sometimes they are conceptual and sometimes they're literal.
It's such a good metaphor for life in so much as what else is available when we widen the aperture or we reduce the filter a little bit. Can we look around? We did a practice on the Substack community where we talked about the power of noticing, going and noticing 3 things that we may not have seen before. And I shared an example of, I did that, and in the garden that in front of the house that I've lived at for over a year and a half, I noticed that there's a metal pole that sticks out of the ground like 3 inches that I never saw before.
That looks like it had been like sawed off or something. Like, how did we never notice that?